This is a public hearing on Bill 1223, Police Traffic Stops Limitations, otherwise known as the STEP Act. This bill would prohibit a stop for certain traffic offenses by a police officer, prohibit consent searches of a vehicle by a police officer, require the collection of data and information related to traffic stops, exclude the limitations on traffic stops from collective bargaining, and generally amend the county law regarding motor vehicle traffic policing.
In its analysis of the Montgomery County traffic violation, the Office of Legislative Oversight found that Black and Latino drivers are disproportionately stopped and searched during traffic stops for lower-level traffic violations such as minor traffic violation, expired registration, or equipment issues. We support the STEP Act because we believe that its passage would allow Montgomery County Police to focus on the type of traffic enforcement that will make roads safer for everyone.
As a taxpayer, ratepayer, homeowner, surely the greatest value for my contribution to our county's coffers is for a council to adopt policing policies that shift the dynamic. By that, I mean our officers must be seen as members of the community, not members of an occupation force. This is a quality of life issue. Whether earned or unearned, we must fight even the perception of aggressive policing to avoid contributing to a potential spiral of socioeconomic impacts ranging from loss of businesses, tax base, retail inflation, increased insurance rates, and significant property value decline.
I'm here to testify against the passage of Bill 1223 regarding traffic stops. First, I'd like to publicly praise Montgomery County Police Department, one of the best trained police departments in the whole country. They're racially and culturally sensitive to the needs of our residents and deserve the recognition and support of the Montgomery County Council and our local government. I oppose this bill because it would loosen traffic stops that would jeopardize public safety in our county, particularly in school zones with children and densely populated areas where senior citizens are attempting to cross the streets. In addition, the state of Maryland requires that police officers stop vehicles with equipment violations and give drivers an equipment repair order. If the bill were to pass, there would be a potential liability for Montgomery County if a vehicle without necessary safety equipment were involved in a crash. Keep in mind there are many cars operating both Montgomery and Prince George's counties without auto insurance. Finally, I believe traffic stops do deter crimes. I am a resident in the 3rd District of Montgomery County. The 3rd District has the highest rate of crime in any district in the county. Traffic stopped by highly skilled officers have resulted in the removal of illegal guns, dangerous drugs, and on occasion these vehicles are stolen vehicles.
As an organization that comprises many members who are young people of color, we know firsthand and as well as from our peers that minor traffic stops can cause physical harm to drivers. They can cause a lot of anxiety, stress, and fear. And additionally, these stops can be financially burdensome, particularly for those who are already struggling to make ends meet. And they can cause people further issues with the legal system.
I was sleeping in his car. He couldn't pay a lot of things, and I was driving with dead tags. I understand I was going to pay it off. I got stopped by a cop, a traffic cop. Tags was dead. He searched my car. He saw a toothbrush, resumes, interview clothes. So he noticed I live in a car. So he wrote me a bunch of tickets. Said, hey, go to court, and he won't show up. So months later, I was realizing why didn't I get the bill? I mean the ticket. And I realized the ticket didn't go to my P.O. box. It went to the address that I no longer lived there. So I went to talk to the commissioner. Commissioner said, hold tight, sends me to jail. I'm in jail for being poor and homeless. And so when I finally get out, I lost a car, I lost my job, and this traumatized me a lot to the point where I avoid cops altogether. And I think this bill would benefit people like me who's working, and not everybody who's poor, with dead tags is, a criminal with drugs and guns and stuff.
STEP endangers our lives, so I will be extremely candid with no apologies. Traffic stops can result in uncovering drugs, weapons, warrants, as well as the capture of terrorists, serial killers, etc. STEP would end these protections. Timothy McVeigh was stopped for a missing registration tag. With STEP, he would go free. Ted Bundy doused his headlights. STEP would likely give him a pass. Son of Sam, stopped for unpaid traffic ticket. Al-Qaeda terrorist planning to pilot a plane into a major building in LA was foiled at a traffic stop. There are hundreds of these saves that STEP would sacrifice. 3 recent local stops spared citizens from harm. I'll just quickly. 2,000 fentanyl pills and a loaded gun confiscated. Chief Jones said we will never be able to quantify the lives saved as a result. And there are several others been in the news recently. STEP has cherry-picked its far-fetched stats, claiming minorities are stopped more often for traffic violations. The governor's crime prevention report, comprehensive and accurate, proves that this is untrue. Whites are stopped more frequently. STEP claims minorities are stopped more often for minor infractions, but it doesn't measure if they commit more. STEP sponsors must stop the bias of this myth. We are amidst a crime wave because of reimagining the police, which drove officers to resign. They felt unable to protect us. STEP makes officers more impotent and the public endangered. Council member Jawando, a sponsor, was stopped for the traffic violations that are listed on STEP. And he claimed it was because he was racially profiled. Is STEP a payback to MCPD? So, council members, please search your souls. Will your conscience allow you to permit drug dealers, murderers, and terrorists to roam freely on our roads, endangering your lives and the lives of your loved ones? If you think it can't happen here, neither did the Oklahomans, the people murdered by Ted Bundy, and the son of Sam. Thank you very much for listening.
The bill cites other jurisdictions throughout the country that have either changed or are studying ways to alter traffic enforcement, but we are not given any data on the results of those changes. In fact, we understand that one of the cited laws in Philadelphia that went into effect in March 2022 is already being challenged in court. Our main concern is that Bill 1223 is putting forward solutions that are untested and could have unintended adverse side effects. Although most of the violations that would be prohibited by this bill seem minor, there are good reasons they are still violations. CDC lists accidents as the 5th leading cause of death in Maryland in 2021, right below COVID-19 and strokes. We are used to cars as a means to get from point A to point B, but there is a reason we get licensed and registered to drive them. So removing the enforcement of this law in particular is a big concern. The lack of enforcement of other violations under Title 22, which deals with improper car equipment, would also endanger people. For example, tinted windows can have a negative impact on pedestrians crossing the street. You know what I mean if you've ever tried to cross the street when a car is halfway through the crosswalk and you're not sure if they're fully stopped or rolling through. Being able to see the driver's eyes can mean the difference between being hit by a car and crossing the street safely. The police should also have the authority to stop a person for crossing against a walk signal or crosswalk. This can be dangerous for motorists on routes like 97 and 108 in Olney, especially in the evening. We support the proposed change that would require the police to collect regular analysis of traffic stop data, report it to the council, and publish it on its website. This data should be a starting point to any conversation about how to make our roads safer. The only way to promote fairness and reduce racial disparities in the interaction between police and people of color is to come up with solutions by looking at and analyzing the core of the problem. If we want a cure for cancer, we don't stop screening for it, which this bill would be equivalent to, but we put in the work to find the correct mixture of drugs that would stop it from getting worse.